Hi, this is Dan from Excelsior Measuring, and we're going to go over the floor flatness report for this project real quick. So, real fun, I'm going to crop out the ceiling like so. Drop this down so we can see the floor nicely. Actually, let's bring it down so we can see that lower area as well there for our utility rooms. We're going to add this cut. All right, and what I'm going to do then, close this. We're going to do our height surface for that. We're going to drop that right down to about here and then fine tune it until we see some white in the areas that we don't want to see white. So we get our highs and lows, and from the bottom, we're going to bring this up as well until we see it cut out a little bit. Right there, we see some negative space. So now we know what our maximum low points are. Okay. We have our maximum highs and our maximum lows, and this is going to just give us a really good visual cue of what's going on in the space. We can close this for right now. And so if you look through here, we can look at actually the whole warehouse as a whole. Flatness is going to be relatively, I say, is kind of the smoothest of your ground. So this over here actually looks fairly smooth, where this over here looks kind of choppy. This would not be very flat, or an FF number, where this might be very flat, where this would have a higher amount of levelness for scoring because we don't see a great change in colorization. This here would not be very favorable because we have a large amount of change in colorization. So colorization being representative of our height differences between. Okay, so if we come in here, I have a couple measurements already in place, but I'm going to delete them because I want to redo this and show you guys how to do this yourselves. And if you want access to the platform to log in, I can have it up for a couple weeks, no charge. We love getting people in and using this stuff. The more people use it and understand it, the better, honestly, it is for everybody. So we're going to go grab a measuring tool. We're going to identify our high point, and we're going to pick a low point. Now, we wanted to keep a standardization to about 10 feet. So we're going to be looking at something like roughly that. Let's go shy so we can even say it's not quite 10 feet. So now we have 10 feet, and our height difference between these two is 2 inches and 2/8 of an inch. All right, that's not phenomenal, but we're going to save that as measurement number one. I'm going to come over here and let's try another one. We can see another high point here, and we're going to go 10 feet out to our lowest point, and we're going to say right about here. Okay, again, we have 2 inches and 1/8. We can change this to a 16th or even higher because the scanner goes up to about 1.5 millimeters of accuracy at about 2 million points per second when it's scanning. Its accuracy is at about 10 meters, so well within the scope of 1/4 of an inch within 10 feet. So I'm going to save this scan at this point as well, and then we're going to look at something going from a green area to a red, or red and up. So let's go from here. Let's go about 10 feet, right about there. And we are looking at about 1 inch 7/8, or we could even go, if we want to go something like this. Again, 2 inches 2/8 is a pretty standard maximum for our worst parts that we are seeing. In some of our other areas that are flatter, sorry, I thought I had cropped out the ceiling on this. Crop down. Bring that back down. Probably because I didn't add it. There we go. Okay. Now, we can look in other areas to see, hey, well, what was our deviation in areas that weren't extreme? You can look from between here and here, 10 feet roughly, and we're looking at 1/4 of an inch. An 1/8 of an inch over this distance. So not nearly as drastic, and we can see that. So now we know that our colorization's smooth and flat. We can see that we have these larger lower areas here. We have these 2 major high points, and interesting enough, along the footings here, we have high points that are relatively the same as these high points center here. We do see some repair that was also done in the back here. We have these low points. Again, red means low. Generally, anything else we'd use red would mean high, but we don't have the ability to invert this in here. So and green would be standards. Green is not an average, it's just the benchmark at the middle of the 2 points for the extremes we're dealing with. So yeah, I hope this was very helpful. We definitely have more than 1/4 of an inch over 10 feet, multiples of that actually. So if you have any questions, please reach out to myself. I'm Daniel Loney at Excelsior Measuring. We are more than happy to help you make informed decisions.